This video is about pumpkins, pollinating them, pruning them and protecting them from rot. And if you watched our earlier video on how to grow pumpkins from seeds, it's time that you learnt how to do these three things, because by pollinating you're going to ensure that you get fruit set, by pruning you're going to get bigger fruit, and by protecting them you're going to stop the pumpkins from rotting on the ground. So here we go. Pumpkins: pollinate, prune and protect. The first trick is pollination, and normally you're going to have insects such as bees that will come around and they'll pollinate your pumpkins for you. There will be some times when there aren't enough bees or pollinators around, so what you need to do is to find the male flowers, take the pollen from them and put it on the female flowers. So if we look closely at this flower, we'll see that at the very base of the flower there's no swelling. This is a male flower. This is the one you take the pollen from. If we look carefully at the base of this flower, you can see the swelling. This is the female flower, and that's the one that we need to put the pollen onto. And it's a really simple process. If you look carefully at this flower, you can see the stamen, and that's the part that has the pollen on it. You can either use your finger or a paintbrush and simply collect some pollen on that, or if you wanted to, you could take the whole stamen out of the flower and use that for your pollination. If we look at this flower, we can see that there's a stigma in the centre, and that's the part that we need to rub the pollen onto. So we take the pollen from the stamen on the male flower, and if you look carefully you can see the pollen on the end of the brush, and we put it onto the stigma of the female flower. And there's always a best time to pollinate the flowers as well, and that's in the morning, and you want to do that as soon as the flower opens up. Of course, if you're lucky and you've got bees, you'll find that nature will do its own pollinating thing. This is one reason that we don't use pesticides in the garden, because pesticides can kill the pollinators. You'll also notice on this vine that the plant is sending out really long runners, and that's okay, except that really long runners means you're going to have a lot of flowers on it and perhaps a lot of fruit, and they're not going to be of a good size. So what we need to do is we need to wait until a few fruits have set on the runner, and then we can trim it back. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to prune the end of the vine. We'll simply snip it off here. Here we've got a vine and it's got some good fruit set on it. As we're going to lift that up a little bit, and we're going to sit the fruit up onto something above the ground. If you do that, you'll find that it stops the fruit from getting too wet, rotting and getting fungal diseases. It's an important thing to do, especially if you're growing your pumpkins on a grassed area or an area where there's wet ground. Good luck with training your pumpkins into growing bigger and better fruit. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for regular updates on all aspects of gardening. Check out our earlier video on how to grow pumpkins from seed, and as always, good luck with your gardening.